Welcome to Arcade Sunday. In this video I'm going to be looking at this cabinet right here, and there's a particular reason for that. I've been noticing for quite a few weeks now that this monitor is showing some strange issues. So I went ahead and bought an entire cap kit for this board and hope to put all these capacitors back into place on this chassis here. I'm going to try and show off the before and after to see what kind of difference it's made, if any. So let's see how it goes.
It's Arcade Sunday. Okay, so there's one of the faults busy showing itself there. Let's just see if it happens again. Yeah, one of the issues is you'll see some of these graphics are like sort of ghosted out from something, like as if the colors are pulling up those lines there. There's a few of those examples in certain games. Okay, so I've started up another game here, and this is one of the issues facing here. You'll see that at white there's sort of pulling upwards. It's not very clear on the camera, unfortunately. The other issue is that every now and again the screen sort of jumps up and down as if a horizontal movement, or in this case it's a vertical screen, but that would be horizontal adjustment if you think about it as a standard TV on its side. The other issue is that there's a lot of sort of banding in the full colors, so as if there's like lines running left and right here. Again, not very clear on camera, but to me as the user it's very obvious and highly annoying. So all of these kind of issues actually should theoretically be erased once I've replaced all the capacitors. You'll see here too, not very even color here. It's sort of, again, these lines in the white are like pulling up in the picture. But again, yeah, so we're going to try and do the cap replacement and then come back to you on that. It's not a quick process, but it's certainly a lot of fun. And the end result should definitely be worth all of the effort. Alright, any one of these projects requires us to move the machines around, unfortunately, to get into the back of them. So I'm just going to get just enough in so I can take the chassis out. Hopefully, I don't know if you're really going to be able to see what I'm doing here, but let me just get the chassis out so long. Get the screwdriver. What a mission. There's my famous tool, by the way, for taking off the anode cap. Basically, you attach this to part of the metal chassis, and then you can pop off the anode cap with this. I usually don't really see any sparks or something. This is not such an antique monitor. It's still basically modern per se, probably from the early 80s, judging by the game it was running on here when I got it. So I'm just basically going to ground this to the chassis, use this. Don't do this if you don't know what you're doing. But I suppose you've got to learn somewhere. So anyway, that's that. And that anode is off, no spark, so it's pretty much discharged already. That's good news. Okay, now it's a matter of getting the neck board off very carefully. Very carefully. Just slowly rock it back and forth, and then there we go. So give it a bit of a clean up as well. It's pretty dusty in here, obviously. Okay, so now I'm going to disconnect the yoke wires, being careful to remember which way they go, otherwise you're going to get inverted screen or flipped screen. In this case it is green, yellow, blue, red along the top. Green, yellow, blue, red. In case I forget, I can go back to my own video and see what I did wrong. Okay, and then really it's just a matter of taking it out of power. And there you go. Okay, so this is the monitor chassis. This is actually quite a complicated one. Again, it's modern, but it's complicated as in it has a lot of components, a lot more than my other China recent ones I've bought from China. So I do believe this to be actually quite a high quality chassis. As I say, I've only replaced some of the caps on this board once before, and it was some time ago, so it's done pretty well, I think. So yeah, let's get this on the bench and see what we can do with it. Alright, so we're on the bench. I'm just going to start off by just basically a bit of dusting, just getting a little bit cleaned up. It's never going to be perfect, but just to get as much sort of loose surface dust off as possible. It doesn't seem like it on the video, but it's actually quite a bit coming off here. It's relatively clean in here in the arcade, but you know, obviously over years of not being touched really, these things do get dusty. So, all right, that's fair enough. Okay, this is the anode cap that actually connects within the tube. You can see this one. I will clean it up a bit, but a little bit corroded. I will clean it up with some electrical cleaner just to make sure it goes back and it doesn't corrode further in the next over the next few years of use. So really I need to start identifying the caps that are going to be replaced. This is not rocket science per se, it's just pretty tedious, I guess. This is the one cap I didn't get, by the way, this big one. They did not have stock of this cap. My big electronic supplier, Mantech, they have always supplied me with quality capacitors and products over the years. So yeah, really what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and figure out how many of these caps I've got in the packets here, and then sort of mark off each one as I go. Okay, so I'm just trying to work out which caps I got here, and then mark them off as I go along. Alright, so I've got all the components laid out now. Well, I had, but in the event, let us plug in the good old trusty soldering iron, real cheap China thing here, but it does work. So let's let that warm up so long, and I'm going to just get bench ready here. Okay, so I'm going to mark off the capacitors that I'm going to be replacing with this permanent marker, just so that I've got some kind of visual reference as to what I've changed out and what I haven't yet. And also hopefully I have all of these capacitors. I think I've missed one. I think it could be this one, but I'm going to mark it anyway, just to be sure. And there's 3 right here, and 1 here, 1 here, here, over there, over here, and down there. I think that's all of them. Yeah, sorry, these two in the front. Okay, I believe they're all marked, and let's get going on the soldering, shall we? Or desoldering, should I say. I use this little dirty thing from the kitchen. Just keeps the front of the soldering iron free of solder. I know it's probably not the right way to do it, but I've done this method all the time. So that's what I do. Okay, I think I'm going to try and just start in this area here, and then just see if I can go around and get as many of them done as possible. I'll hopefully be able to get a lot of this done soon, because I really want to play some games again on that cabinet. So without further ado, let's get going here. Okay, so clip these leads. I'm going to have to clip right on the board to try to give it good space away from the solder joint, so that you don't damage the solder joint when you cut. Just give it some space, and don't lose those little legs that you're cutting off here, because One, they can cause shorts on the board if flying around, or you can use them for other special things like as jumper wires and clever other uses. Okay, one could have gone down a bit more. Okay, 330. Alright, and carry on doing this over and over and over until we finished. So I'm going to do maybe one more on camera, and then I'm going to hopefully come back afterwards with the finished product with any luck. So let's do one more of these on camera, and then we'll call it a day. Alright, so that is a few of them done. I've still got a lot to go. As you can see, there's a ton of these things lying all over the table now, and a bit of a mess unfortunately, but they are still sort of in their quadrants. Yep, so let me carry on with this off camera and get back to you as soon as possible. Alright, so nearly finished. We've got most of the caps done already, and this is the collection that I have done already. It's quite a good selection here. I've got exactly 5 more to do here, so I'm going to try and capture some of the last 5 on video. It's amazing how after some time you get like a pro doing these things. You start off slow and then get better as you go along. I guess that's normal for something that you haven't done for a while, like soldering. Right, so I'm going to go for the sets here. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left. So I'm going to start here with this one and go that way. How about that? C605 on the board. Very nice board actually. It's been very easy to work on this board. The capacitors and everything is actually labeled on top and bottom, and positive and negative, so it's easy to know where it is. So I'm seeing here C605, so capacitor 605. We flip the board over and you will see 605, this right there, and basically the positive and negative. So you can just sort of unsolder that and go for it from there. So let's continue on this soldering journey. C605 is coming out. Okay, and the last one is this one here. Let's go. Okay, this is going to be quite a difficult one because it's got a lot of solder built up on here. It's probably been reflowed a few times, maybe even by myself at some point. So as you'll see, there's a leg sticking out to that way, which is not great, and is probably going to be difficult to remove. Okay, you'll see now that's a bit of a difficult state here. What I want to do is an advanced skill here with regards to soldering. We're going to put some flux on here and remove this leg. Don't want to short anything out. Okay, hopefully the solder flux will help it sort of get out of place a bit quicker, sort of melts it away. But let's see, you can see there's a, yeah, certainly my so before, there we go, my soldering iron is not really up to spec, it looks like. And I'm sure I actually said the same thing the last time when I made a video with soldering. It was some time ago, maybe several years ago. Even then I said, no, this soldering iron is not really that good. And yes, it's true, it's still going, but it's rather old. So I am going to try this trick here now. Use all the tricks in the book here. Solder flux, sharp knife. I don't want to damage the solder pads. This is very risky what I'm doing here. Not very risky, but it's just, yeah, potentially you can damage the solder pads, and then you've got a bigger problem on your hands. You've got to kind of then make up a way to, oops, make up a way to set up a jump wire or something to get around your patch. Now this is really nasty soldering work. Okay, let's try and bend this pin up. Okay. Kind of bent it a little bit up, so that's better. Okay, I'm going to try and feel this from the other side and try and wiggle it out here. Here we go, and it's coming out. There we go, done. Feels like a dentist. Extract the tooth. Okay, so I'm going to get my new unit and install that. Noting correct orientation, of course. So C725, negative to the left. Check again on the bottom. See how nicely labeled this board is, positive and negative. Wonderful. Whoever designed this board really did a good job. Very nice to work on, easy to work on. And yes, this is actually the longest surviving cabinet in my arcade. It's the first machine I got. I do have a video somewhere about that, and I've actually only done work on this chassis once professionally, and the second time I did some patching myself, so I didn't recap everything. So this is why I'm hoping what I'm doing here is going to help this chassis survive another good long time. I just can't go through another one of those TV hack RGB mods anytime soon. It's such a pain to do. It's possible, but it's pretty soul destroying, difficult job. I would prefer to get my original arcade chassis working, of course. So let us, what a mess, bit of a tough solder spot, but anyway. All right, negative this side, beautiful. Just going to just try and reseat this slightly by pushing gently on the top of the capacitor and see how much it moved there. Okay, so all it does, it just makes the capacitor flush with the board, or more flush with the board as far as possible. So yeah, I'm just going to touch it up a little bit, and then I think that's hopefully the end of this recap project. Now becomes the fun. Yeah, so good. So now the fun begins with reinstalling this chassis back into the cabinet. Seriously holding thumbs here both sides, because I just hope that all this work I've done now is actually going to pay off, and that the chassis is going to perform, and that the picture is as I expect. So yep, wish me luck. Okay, so I've reinstalled the chassis there on the side of the cabinet where it was before. I've plugged everything in, double checked everything. I sincerely hope that everything is going to work here. I am basically going to power this thing on now. So it's either going to work or it's not. So it's getting late. Let's hope it just works, and then I can at least go to bed knowing that it works. Up a bit so I can see a picture. So that's probably a good sign. So unfortunately not really the result I was expecting. But we'll see how long it takes to warm up. It might be quicker. There also might be a possibility that the one very large cap I didn't replace is actually also at fault and needs to be replaced. I just can't find that particular capacitor at my local supplier. So, but let's just see how long it takes to warm up. So maybe it's going to be a bit better than it was. but the main thing is going to be the tests with the geometry and the ghosting effects that we saw earlier. Again, not really too worried if it takes long to warm up, but that just might be the tube, honestly, just taking long to warm up because it's very, very old. I mean, this tube probably comes from, I estimate, probably the earlier half of the 80s. I would say 1983, 1984 is my guess. So yeah, let's just start something up here and let it warm up and see what happens. Okay, so yes, I think good news. I think my success rate here was pretty darn high, actually. As I was complaining about earlier about the warm-up time, that really isn't a problem. Warm-up time was actually really quick compared to normal, so definitely done something right there. The other thing I can notice immediately is the clarity of the picture is so good, so much better than it was. Very, very on point. I'm still going to dial in the focus very slightly. There are known issues with this yoke adjustment. There are slight issues at the corner there and here somewhere. You'll see this ladder here sort of doubles itself. I'm not going to go into yoke adjustments. Honestly, it's not terrible. I'm not really going to worry too much about it. To adjust it is a nightmare. I've tried it before on another monitor and I could never really get it 100%. So it's good enough. It's still very good. The geometry is excellent. Not warped or anything. I don't see any jumping or anything like I saw before. So I'm going to call this a win. Honestly, looks great. So I'm probably going to have a game of something just to celebrate this. So yeah, that's wonderful news. Finally, this project is over. That's great. Alright, so I've just put a coin into this machine now, and I can tell you 100% this picture is looking amazing. You cannot really see it in the video. The video actually looks bad, like it's shaking or flashing. It's not. Looks absolutely great. Very, very good focus here. Looks wonderful. The colors look good. I might have a little bit too much red. I might have to adjust the red cutoff slightly on the neck, but I think it looks great. I'm just gonna have a quick game, not a good game, just to look at it, the greens and the reds, and just wait for the blues. So there might be a possibility that the blue, there's blue down there. No, I might just not be used to seeing it looking so good. So yeah, no, this does look very, very good, I must say. So I'm just gonna again, not a great game, just a game to test out functionality. Just look at the colors, just look at the picture, just see what it looks like. So far I'm pretty happy with the results, as I said earlier. And Slap Fight is one of those great games that really have strangely enough stood the test of time as far as I'm concerned. Avoided them straight into the shot. Anyway, again, this is not a high scoring game, this is just a test game. But yeah, I think it looks very good. So in any event, I think my project was successful. I'm not going to make any other changes to this cabinet right now. I'm just going to let it play the next time. Possibly next Sunday I shall do a video on this cabinet, or record this cabinet with me doing a gameplay, however you want to say it, and we'll go from there. Yeah, just like it, Arcade Sunday out. I'm just going to collect my homing missile, and then I shall bid you adieu. Right, homing missile, the secret of Slap Fight, by the way. This is a hidden game strategy video right at the end of my monitor repair video. This is actually the secret to slab fight, getting the homing missile weapon, because now you'll see you open up all kinds of stuff all over the place that you never knew were there before. So that's what I'm going to leave you with, and hopefully it will help you in your future endeavors playing slab fight, aka Elcon. I think I must do another video about this game. In fact, it's a very fun game. I know I'm rambling right now, but I'm pretty happy that I have finished this long-running project. It's been a thorn in my side, a thorn in my arcade, and a thorn in my creativity. So good, glad it's done. So homing missile once again, and dead. Just like that, arcade signed out. Cheers for now. See him again, hopefully soon. And have a great arcade gaming week. Cheers for now.